Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ha, Rocha, Kodash, Ma'amath. I want to give a double honors to the elder apostles of GMS and their elders, as well as an honors to their bishops. I want to give a double honors to my elder apostle, Aharawan Ban Yasharala of the Lions Den Camp here in Jacksonville, Florida, as well as an honors to my bishop, Kanak Sa'an Ban Yasharala, also of the Lions Den Camp here in Jacksonville, Florida. Shalom to the sincere Akim, pushing his truth and sincerity around the four corners of this earth, and the Akwakim and children that believe. I'm Nakar Harab Ban Yasharala, coming out of the Lions Den Camp of Yasharala here in Jacksonville, Florida. Now today I'll be coming out of a lesson, and it's on this article that the Bishop Kanak of this camp put in the group chat. And it says here, it says, U.S. has probably permanently lost 15 Gulf bases in Trump's Iran war. Retired general warns conflict has become a strategic disaster. And hey, he's right about it being a strategic disaster, because you have those of the upper echelon of this wicked, sinful nation that think that they're controlling everything, but it's really the Lord doing this. So yeah, and the Lord has He set things in place to play out how they're supposed to play out. So yeah, you're right. This is a very, very much a strategic disaster. But nonetheless, with the fact that the U.S. of Babylon has permanently lost 15 Gulf bases, that's an indication and the indicator of what? Strength weakening. And that's the title of this lesson. That strength is weakening, O Babylon. So without further ado, let's read this article, then I'm gonna get some scriptures. It says, retired 4-star General Barry McCaffrey declared the United States has probably permanently, I'm gonna just get rid of the probably part and just say permanently lost access to 15 Persian Gulf bases. Through what? Through we know why. War. Following Iran's 2026 missile retaliation, a warning that frames the damage as a strategic disaster for the U.S. power projection in the East. And yes, that is a sign of waning or weakening strength, and the Lord has weakened Babylon greatly. Can't even. But let's continue. This is the assessment comes as dire reports that the U.S. has depleted nearly all of its missile stockpiles in the Iran war without bringing the country to the negotiating table. Yeah. It says McCaffrey analysis goes further than official Pentagon language. He argues Iran is now poised to control access to the Gulf states through its surviving missile inventory and its ability to disrupt maritime traffic. Yeah, that's pretty much true. That's a striking claim given the scale, Salakia, of the U.S. presence in the region once supported. U.S. Central Command normally stationed roughly 40,000 troops across nearly 20 sites spanning 1,500 miles from Jordan to Oman. But guess what? They finna attack Oman. If I'm not mistaken, they done already did it. But let's continue. It says, since the Iranian strikes, or should I say the Iranian retaliation began in late February 2026, more than 200 U.S. facilities across the Gulf were damaged or destroyed, including hangars, barracks, radar systems, fuel storage, communications infrastructures. Those sound very important for war. 6 U.S. service members were killed in a March 1st attack, Salakia, near Kuwait's Port Shuaiba. With 38 hospitalized, and 4 more were helped finish with all their living in a separate Iranian offensive on forces in Jordan. 3 U.S. F-15E fighter jets were also lost in a friendly fire incident during the fighting. You was getting whooped so bad, you just gonna fire on your own people? It says the fallout. It says reconstruction damage alone is estimated at roughly $5 billion by the American Enterprise Institute, while total war costs are projected to reach approximately $37.5 billion, $37.5 billion by the end of September of 2026. And we ain't even there. We're still in August, but we'll be there in a minute. It says those figures are feeding directly into the Pentagon's current reassessment of whether rebuilding its Gulf footprint is worth it at all. No, it ain't. The Lord is taking the strength from Babylon. He is taking this devil's strength from here. The Lord said he was going to break their teeth, take away their power, stop their enterprises. Anything that they try to do, the Lord is going to throw at it. Jam a wrench in it. But let's continue. It says McCaffrey's 15 basis figure is his own professional judgment. This is probably the truth. It's not an official Pentagon tally, of course. You know how these devils like to run. But this is a Pentagon official described the department's internal Salaki review, more cautiously calling it prudent planning and nothing that decisions are going to have to be made on some of this stuff. I don't know who the fuck write these things. Salaki. Still, the fact that officials are actively weighing alternatives, shifting capabilities to Saudi Arabia, Jordan, and Israel, and the southern Europe, with Diego Garcia taking on a bigger logistics role, suggests McCaffrey's warning is shaping a real policy discussion, even if the exact number of lost bases has been officially confirmed or classified. It says if the U.S. permanently steps back from a large share of its Gulf infrastructure, it will represent a fundamental reordering of the American military strategy in the East. One driven not by choice, but by the demonstrated vulnerability of fixed bases to modern missile and drone warfare. You got to think, Babylon has just been riding on the bravado of we'll F you up. That pretentious display of overconfidence. Well, guess what? Now that's being tried. That's just like a bully. Bullies think they can whoop any and everybody, and then anybody else they want to be intimidating to. But the first time this bully run up against somebody that's not scared, that's not playing, guess what? That bully finds out that you're just a bitch. Just like America. Excuse my my French and all of that. But let's get some scriptures. This is Isaiah 47:1. It says, "Come, sit down." It's like, let me read it again. It says, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate." So this is the Lord's judgment upon Babylon. The fact that American bases have been permanently destroyed or Babylon has lost access to them, that's an indicator. That's a precursor, or should I say an omen of a future downfall that's coming sooner than later. But it says, "Come and sit down in the dust," meaning get in a low place, get out of power. O virgin daughter, this place has never been attacked by another nation because of it's surrounded by three sides by water. It's surrounded on three sides by water. So that's what made it says, "O virgin daughter." This place has never been attacked. There's been some things that have happened within the borders, but it has never been attacked from outside the borders, like they were always claiming for all these many years. Oh yeah, they're trying to do something to America the whole time. Babylon going around the four corners of the causing problems in these other nations' countries. So now guess what? Now they really finna attack this mother Hubbard. And ain't gonna be nothing officials, whoever's in the power seat, power structure, whatever, gonna be able to do but take the hits. So again, come down, sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne. There is no more power structure. There is no more position of power for Babylon. And it says, O daughter of the Chaldeans, thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. So guess what? This place is now not looked at as tender and delicate. Babylon, America, is now officially hated by all the other countries in the world now, officially. And this is the Lord's doing. The Heavenly Father, He's doing this because this is His will. Regardless of who believe it, who want to agree with it, who like it, who dislike it, it don't matter. It is what it is. The Lord said it, so that's it. So yeah, this ain't the place no more. This ain't the place to come visit. This ain't the place. This is now the place to leave and go somewhere else and live. This place is not that golden city that these other nations once thought it was. That's why it says, O daughter of the Chaldeans, thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. This ain't the place no more. This ain't the oh yeah, let's go to Babylon, America, and live the American dream. Then they get over here and find out you got to be asleep in order to dream. They find out it ain't all it's cracked up to be from these other nations that come over here. But let's continue. Let's go to Isaiah 14. I'm going to start at verse 10. Because these other nations are now starting to see. And guess what? They're going to start saying this. This is Isaiah 14 verse 10. It says, all they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? So it's going to get to a point where these other nations, these other weak nations, quote unquote, they're going to be like, they're going to start to say to Babylon, oh, well, what done happened? You done became weak like us, huh? What happened to all your strength? What happened to all this, that bravado? What happened to all the hubris? All the confidence? What happened to all the haughtiness and the loftiness? What happened? Where's your strength? What happened? You done became like us. You weak like us now. I guess what that's going to do? That's going to embolden the other nations to stand up and run up on America. Because once again, back to that bully strategy, with that bully example, not strategy, but example. Once one person whooped the flying flip phone out the bully, everybody else gonna see, oh, this bully can be beat. This bully can get whooped. So guess what? That's gonna embolden them to be like, yeah, like I'll just use this reference. It was a Boondocks episode where Tom Dubois, he had got possessed by the ghost of Stinkmeaner. So basically, he was going around, like when he would get possessed, he would go around and cause problems. And it was one episode where he was getting ready to park, and a dude just parked, just ran in the parking spot before he could get in there, and he did the little thing, and he turned into Stinkmeaner. And the dude got out the car, and he said, you like, after he got possessed, the dude went to talking trash. Boy, don't you ever walk up on me, boy. I do this and I do that. And next day, he was like, what did you say, nigga? And then the dude like, you know what? And when the dude walked up on him, he kicked him in the chest. And once he kicked the dude in the chest, he went flying back. And he was like, look at you. Yeah, you was popping all that good sugar honey iced tea a second ago. Now you done got kicked in your chest. You know what I'm saying? That's the same thing with these other nations. They gonna see and be like, oh, what? And they gonna run up. And they gonna be like, yeah, you was bad before. Now you done got kicked in your chest. What you gonna do? That's what these other nations are going to do. That's why they're going to mock this devil. Like, oh, you like us now. But let's continue. Let's continue. Verse 11. It says, thy pomp is brought down to the grave. Vials, the worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. Destruction, judgment, the pomp. The noise of the vials, having all the best music and everything. Because, once upon a time, Babylon, America, at least in the 90s, well, hell, from the 20s, I would say, because you had jazz and all that, and you had a lot of top level names like Fats Domino and all the rest of them, Dizzy Gillespie and all them. Them was all Jakes. Duke Ellington, Nat King Cole, what I'm saying? That was coming all the way up to about the 90s. It's where music was really the best, what I'm saying, from the 20s all the way up to about the 90s. After like the 90s, music kind of started falling off and getting trash here in Babylon, America. But no more of those things are going to happen. It says the worm is spread under this devil. What happened? Worms only come when somebody is finished with all they living, because worms show up to eat the decomposing dead flesh. So that's spread under this devil, meaning his destruction is waiting for him. His judgment is waiting for him. It's done spread it under him, spread it out nice and wide. So when he falls, it's going to be like I don't know, some kind of vice I was thinking about just now. As soon as you touch it, it locked down on you. But let's continue. Verse 12, it says, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nation? So how is this devil fallen? Through the Lord. That's how this devil is fallen. And it says, how art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? How? Through manifold wickedness. First off, through Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. But through the manifold wickedness. I did a lesson yesterday. You can't get what you're not given. But then on the flip side of that, you reap what you sow. And what has Babylon, America sown in the four corners of the earth? You ain't got to say that. We already know. So guess what? You sow it, you reap it. So, and we're seeing the fruits of wickedness being sown in the earth, and now we're starting to see the fruits of it. We're starting to see the harvest, and guess what? This devil gonna get his harvest. Babylon gonna get its harvest. Now these other nations are gonna start doing things and weakening this place even further. They already got food recalls and all that stuff. That's weakening the foundation of this place. That's weakening the power structure. And this devil used this engine, this destroying mountain, to weaken other nations. And now guess what? It's happening to this place. Verse 13, it says, for thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars, I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. So this devil has said in his heart that he will ascend into the heavens, which he did. He ascended into the heavens, with his satellites and space stations and all that stuff, and whirly birds, helicopters, jets, and all that stuff up in the sky. You know what I'm saying? He said he was gonna exalt his throne above the stars of Yahweh. He was gonna sit down upon the mount of the congregation, meaning rule over the world, and rule over Yashar Allah, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. That's what that last part of that verse means. I will sit upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north, meaning we was gonna be here in slavery and all that stuff, because we still here, so we pretty much still is in slavery. So as long as you got a social security number and a birth certificate, those are slave bond documents. You need to look that up. Do your research. But the Lord, but that's what this devil has said, and he has done that. But the Lord said this. Let's continue. Well, he's saying this, but let's continue. Verse 14, it says, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. That's what this devil has done. This devil has gotten up really high, gotten really powerful in the earth. He said he's going to be like the Most High. And see what? And guess what? The Most High, he controls everything. He knows everything. He sees everything. And this devil trying to be that. But he going about it wickedly and carnally. So guess what? Verse 15. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell to the sides of the pit. So no matter how high this devil get up, and you can back that up with Obadiah. This devil done fooled himself. The pride of this devil heart has deceived him. He think this because he done ascended up like an eagle. He done got real powerful. The Lord said, yet though he might lift himself up, the Lord gonna bring him down, and the devil gonna be brought down to the sides of the pit, to destruction, to judgment. And the Lord is going to use his engine that this devil was using in the earth to cause problems in the earth. Meaning the Lord is going to destroy Babylon. Once Babylon is done, ain't no more, ain't gonna fit anything to be no more Otterwamites in power nowhere. Talking about we're going to build back better, we're going to rise as a phoenix out of the ashes. Nah. You're going to be ashes. This devil is going to be ashes. He's going to get turned into him. Let's continue. Verse 15 once more. It says, yet thou shalt be brought down to hell to the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee and saying, Salakia, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? So once this devil goes down completely and for real, and the Lord take this devil down, people are going to see it and narrowly look upon it though and consider it. Like, you mean to tell me this guy right here, him, he was causing problems in the earth. He was shaking kingdoms. This little, right here. Come on. Verse 17. This is that made the world as a wilderness, and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners. So that's what they're gonna be looking at. Like, man, it's this one right here, this guy who turned the world, made the world as a wilderness, destroyed cities, countries, lands, homes, people, did all this nastiness on the earth, lock people up and don't let them out, taking Jake to jail for tiny little crap, Jake catching triple and double life for a little bit of whatever. These nations are gonna mock him, and as a matter of fact, the nations are already starting to mock Babylon. But let's continue. My last point. Let's go to 2nd Esdras. Let's go. Take it too long. Second Esdras chapter 15 verse 12. It says, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that Yahweh shall bring upon it. And what's a plague and a punishment that the Lord is bringing upon this place? The fact that the army, the brigandine, whatever you want to call it, is weakening. The fact that we see articles and videos and things of the sort showing the Lord weakening this place. That's why it says, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that Yahweh shall bring upon it. The fact that Babylon is losing ground in the world, losing power, that's part of the Lord smiting the foundation of this place. The fact that the strength is waning, that's smiting the foundation of this place. Power ain't powering like it used to for Babylon America. These other nations are standing up, and Iran showed them. They were trying to pick a fight with Putin. Well, we're gonna say Russia. We're gonna say Putin. We're trying to pick a fight with Russia. But guess what? That was the bully trying to punch above his weight class. Fighting, you know what I'm saying, trying to fight fighters that are out of its league. And what did the leader of Russia say? If you F with me, I'm gonna nuke you. You notice there was a lot of backpedaling and backing up then. Yeah. See, something about bullies. Bullies know when you will whoop the flying flip phone out of them. They know it. But they just too overconfident, so they feel like they got to try you. And I'm just speaking from experience. Going to school, I was a bully beater. It didn't matter about your size or your height. If you was a bully and you came over here, came my way, I'll make sure you don't come nowhere near me no more. And guess what? That's what's going on now. Look at Iran. Iran is that bully beater. But this devil, he's so prideful. He's so stubborn. He won't just take a loss. But the world is seeing Babylon ain't what it's cracked up to be, or it's not what it used to be. So yeah, this place is going to become ever weaker, and the Lord is going to continue to destroy this place. Shalom.